Hello, folks, and welcome to the stream. I don't know if anyone's in here yet, because I literally started it less than 30 seconds ago, but hello. I should probably actually let people know I'm streaming. I do hope that anyone listening in is having a good day. I will start roughly, uh, probably around 8, maybe 8:05. So in the meantime, uh, just some quiet time, I suppose. I'll see if I can't figure out how to get some captures going for desktop audio as well on this.
Searching for music for your next video? Then you need to check out Artlist.
Let me see if I can't put in some music. I am attempting to put in some music. Y'all may or may not be able to hear it. If you cannot hear it, I apologize for the awkward silence. well, it says Mako Energy Exhibit. It's just a little miniature thing of Midgar. And then Seventh Heaven. I don't know if I'll get to them all tonight, but I'll make an attempt. Oops. Okay. Sorry, my stuff was being weird for a moment there. Alrighty. Okay, we can give it another couple minutes. Let's give it till like 8:05 before we get started playing properly. Oops. Sorry for miscellaneous noises. Actually, I probably should have music of some sort going, because I just remembered that this game has very little in the way of, music. Ah,
Stick it to your brow.
no. I am not. As much as I can manage, I'd rather not have ads on Twitter that I am not getting paid for. Okay, Tori, can you hear the background music at all? Alright. Well, I will begin with this. Folks are going to have to let me know what the audio, if it's too loud, if it's not loud enough, etc. Because I don't really have any way of knowing right this moment. Okay, so might as well get... Technically, the first one's the scorpion, or no, the first one is... Oh, I don't care. Let's be real here. Let's start with the energy exhibit. Oh, wait. Oh, I think this is the first one in the story. On behalf of everyone at the Shinra Electric Power Company, I'd like to welcome you to Midgar. It could not have been easy to come all the way out here, so your presence is much appreciated. To raise our population's morale, we are opening an exhibition to celebrate the long and varied history of our fair city's motor industry. Two of its key pieces, however, have emerged from storage in, let's just say, less than pristine condition. If they're going to take center stage at the exhibition, they must be spotless, and that requires the attention of someone who understands the full meaning of that word. None other than you. Reeve Tuesti, perhaps one of the only people in the entire game with a soul. Well, that works for Shinra, anyway. Yeah. Funny timing with the music. If y'all can hear it anyway. Oh, I do love this. Ah, I didn't realize I could go back here. I've played this before, but not since it first came out. Look at how not detailed that car is. I mean, it looks like it came from the original game. I still think this is cool as hell. Hi, Jake. Thanks for popping by. Alrighty. Well, the Hardy Daytona is more irritating and detailed, so I'm gonna begin with this guy, the hauler. Thank you for joining us, Jake. Yeah, I know that, I know he's struggling with, his computer at the moment. How is my audio, guys? Can you hear the music in the background at all? Is it too loud or is it okay? Okay, I appreciate it, Coons. Here's hoping Kit can get his stuff figured out, like, or hopefully it can be figured out. I know stroke computer shit is stressful at best. I did read something unfortunate about the creators of Palworld using AI in some of their other projects, and maybe on this game directly. I'm gonna do my research first, but if that turns out to be the case, I'm gonna have to refund the game. I am hoping it is not the case. Yeah, I saw on Twitter. I'm gonna have to look into it. I hope it's not true, because the game's fun. I mean, we had fun with it last night. One of my possible goals for this weekend, well, for tomorrow, let's be real, is to set up my my TV. I would like to play the FF7 remake again soon. This is okay. So the bumper itself is still... Oop, nope. I forgot that having music in here meant that we were also going to have ads. So I do apologize in advance. Okay, so... Okay, I must have gotten that while I was doing other things. I do... So I have a lot of questions about this crossover we're having with this game, because, this implies somehow that that PowerWash sim is happening in the same universe as FF7 and Tomb Raider. And if that is so, I have many concerns and questions. Like, I don't know if this is just in reality, I know this isn't something that matters or even, like, folks put any thought into. But I have questions. Hi, Brian. Thank you for popping in. But yeah, I have a lot of concerns about what this means for the canon of all included media. I mean, then again, or actually, I'm sorry, that's a spoiler, never mind, ignore me. Okay, I understand. You do you, Brian. Man, like... Still an A+ composer. I forget his name right this second. But, God, just fucking... I swear that this playlist has got to be at least one of the reasons that the Final Fantasy games are as good as they are, is that so many of them have such incredible music. Oh, I guess, you know what, Coons, actually, that does make more sense. Here I was trying to assume that we were playing as the same... This is... No. So, these are technically still other people in other worlds, but my headcanon is that we're going all Final Fantasy XIV with it, and these are just our shards, like versions of us from other universes. Okay, am I done with all hauler stuff? Because I want to do one vehicle completely before I move on. Yeah, these are just alternate universe versions of our character from the main power washing game. I've decided this, and I will not be deterred. Okay, good. That's all of this guy gone. And now to the much more irritating task. I mean, there's gotta be some lore. You don't combine fucking SpongeBob and Sephiroth without there having to be some kind of lore to connect them. Sorry, excuse me a moment. I'm getting comfortable. Very comfortable. It's just a 5% thingamajig. I mean, you might be right, Coons. Ooh, that was fun! I enjoyed that! Excellent serotonins right there, my good sirs and madams and folks that know better. Logic in SpongeBob is moon logic. It is not Earth logic. Therefore, nothing about reality we apply to it is going to make sense. Actually, no. Fire works in Bikini Bottom if it's funny. It operates on Roger Rabbit rules. But yes, Brian, seeing those guys being able to fight each other would be incredible. Yeah. Logically, anyone even remotely close by would get electrocuted were you to cast Thundara or something in Atlantica, but, well, they can't just forbid you from using your spells from a singular word, so we just ignore that. It's fine, don't worry about it. I like to think of Sandy as like a family-friendly Batman. She's prepared for a lot of random shit. Hey, you're not wrong. Oops, not what I meant to do. Oh yeah, one fun thing. Not so much on the bike or the hauler, but on some of the other things, there's Mako residue as one of the types of dirt you get to wash away. You're honestly probably not wrong, Brian. Sandy would absolutely emotionally destroy Sephiroth. She's an emotionally stable young squirrel who ain't need no man. We're all in agreement that Sandy's a lesbian, right? Well, bless your... No, I can't do a southern accent. Brian can do a southern accent. I cannot. I'm not even gonna try. Nope. These ads? No. I'm not about it. Bye. I'm actually kind of sad because, so this DLC is set just prior to, it's set during the first like act of the main game, just before Cloud joins Avalanche's attack on the reactor for the first time. So obviously, Cloud doesn't build Fenrir until after the first game, but I would love to be able to clean Fenrir, but in the meantime, the Hardy will do. Yeah, there's no way in hell. There's no, like, there's just no way Sandy is straight. I'm sorry. She's bi minimum. Oh, there it is. Weird little spot. Oh, there's another one? Oh, okay, that's what it meant. And... oh, yeah, his bike is named Fenrir. And his, like, ultimate weapon has a fancy name and stuff, too. I just don't remember it right this second. Oh, that's where the skid plate is. I am so smart. Maybe actually, I don't know, look for the flashing thingo. I have a lot of really specific weird knowledge about FF7. Like, it's one of my special interests. Your dedication to your craft is everything we'd heard it was. So much so, we're moving these 2 exhibits to the atrium. You have our deepest gratitude. Before I forget, after hearing my assessment of your work, Heidegger, Director of Public Security, insisted on contracting you for his own division. While he does have a tendency to come off as rough around the edges, I assure you it's a broad byproduct of his passion and military background. That said, his style does not mesh with everyone, so if it doesn't mesh with yours, tread lightly. Yes, this request is vastly different from our first, but think of it as proof of our trust in you. After all, we wouldn't bring someone of your caliber all this way just to wash down a few sets of dirty wheels. Reeve. I actually kind of love Reeve. You get to learn a lot more about him in, Dirge of Cerberus. And, like, he's still a relatively young dude. When the game starts, I think he's still in his... I think at most he's 30. Maybe in his 20s. It's not super clear because Japan and how it handles youth in these games and stuff is bizarre. Oh yeah, but so they didn't pop up because I had already played this level, but you do get text from your person throughout all of these jobs. So where are the messages? Where are they? There should be... okay, why... I don't need to hear the victory sound multiple times. Thank you, music. Ah, yes, one of the songs that makes me weepy. Okay, where in the heckity are the messages? I really wanted to show them to y'all first. Okay, you know what? Sure, restart job. We'll restart so then I should have access to it. And if not, there's something really fucky-wucky afoot. Oh, they're up here. I am so smart. Well, to be fair, they used to be down here. They changed the layout slightly. Oh, okay, so... I want to read these because it's interesting. These are all from Reeve. Glad to have you in the Shinra building again. Even though I might not be where I am today without the company's stunning advancements in Mako harvesting technology, I have rarely visited this exhibit, and I believe I finally understand why. It forces me to come face to face with the fact that what the city has become is no longer what I hoped it would be. A terrible darkness has settled over Midgar, and who knows when it will lift. But I digress. Allow me to explain the general layout. Oh wait, this is the oh, what did... oh, never mind. Sorry, I thought these were notes from a different thing. It's the correct one. Sorry. Okay, so I think all of this is from this job. My apologies. Allow me to explain the general layout of Midgar. As you may have noticed, it is divided into 8 sectors, each powered by its own Mako reactor, and at the very center of the city stands the Shinra building. But as the city's design is predicated on the use of Mako, perhaps I should explain what that is first. Mako is a substance that flows under the surface of the planet. Our skilled engineers have learned how to convert the substance into electricity, which in turn has greatly raised the people's standard of living. I had hoped this innovation would allow Midgar to become a veritable utopia. Unfortunately, wherever there is progress, there are setbacks. Mark my words, I will complete my expressway project one day, as well as the restoration of Sector 6. All I want is to make life better for everyone in Midgar, especially those in the Undercity. However, I've had to fight tooth and nail for every permanent scrap of funding. As much as it pains me to say this, I fear the rest of Shinra may view Midgar's people in a different light. Did you hear that? It sounded like an explosion. I've just received word about complications with Reactor 1. Please excuse me, but this issue requires my immediate attention. So these are all... Oh wait, shit. Maybe that was... So I'm sorry, I know I'm babbling. I'm trying to... It's not... This button should only be showing messages for the specific job, not all the messages from the game. So I think part of that, what I just read, was from later jobs. Oh, I'm sorry, Brian. Have a good night. I'll see you later if you pop back in. Okay, so what I just read was, I think, for the next job, but I'll just finish reading that, and then read what was for this job, which was the Hardy Daytona and the Hauler. So in the next job, which is the appearance of the Midgar, like the Midgar miniature, that's when this alert comes in. That's when Avalanche attacks the reactor. Public security believes the incident at Reactor 1 was the work of the eco-terrorists known as Avalanche. I can't imagine why anyone would want to endanger the lives of their fellow citizens, least of all those who claim to respect all life. But if conversely, perhaps Shinra needs to ask itself where its fault in all this lies. Forgive me, this isn't your problem. Instead, let me congratulate you on another job well done. It's always a pleasure working with you. I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Reeve. So that was, again, from the next job, so sorry about that. But hey, now you've heard it and I don't have to read it then. This, starting now, is what I was supposed to read. Actually, I'm sorry, give me a sec. Skip. Enough with these ads. Jeepers. As you are new to Midgar, allow me to say a few words by way of introduction. I am the Director of Urban Planning, responsible for the design of the entire city, including its heart, the Shinra building, in which you're currently standing. Our organization, run by the lauded President Shinra, is split into 5 divisions: Urban Planning, Space and Aeronautics, Advanced Weaponry, Research and Development, and Public Security. I expect either Heidegger of Public Security or Professor Hojo of Research and Development to call upon your services at some point as well. As head of public security, Heidegger commands the city's military, while Hojo concerns himself with pushing the boundaries of science. Due to the highly secretive nature of their jobs, as well as their eccentric personalities, I recommend not making any ripples, let alone waves, when working for them. Now, onto the vehicles themselves. The motorcycle is a Hardy Daytona, highly maneuverable and powered by our company's first V-type DOHC engine. This engine is the same as those used in small aircraft, so it does 0 to 60 in, I see we've already arrived. The Shinra Hauler is a classic all-purpose vehicle that has always been an integral part of city life. While it may look clunky and unstable with its unusual 3-wheel design, I assure you its appearance belies its true power. On an open freeway, the Hauler could theoretically keep pace with the Hardy Daytona, which, we see in canon and BD. Your dedication to your craft is everything we'd heard it was. So much so, that was what I had already read. Sorry about that. Okay, well, we've done that one. And I don't like doing the mecha ones. So I'm just gonna go on to this one, which is the Mako City, which is the Mako exhibit. Hello once again. I trust you've been able to take in some of the city since we were last in touch. Sorry to pull you away from your vacation, but we have another job lined up for you. The nature of this task, however, demands a great deal more discretion than the first we had you perform. Of course, this also means you shall be compensated handsomely for your troubles. One of the specimens from Professor Hojo's laboratory escaped and made its way to the 60th floor. It was eventually captured in the Mako Energy exhibit, but it refused to go quietly, and the place is coated in a thick layer of biological ooze. While we entrusted the floor and walls to our security team, I insisted that someone with a more skilled touch handle the exhibit itself. Alright. Well, as you can already see, we've already got Mako, and we've got bioresidue, on top of, well, plenty of soot. Anything else around here? No, those seem to be the big three. Bright as hell, this Mako residue. Alright, well, any place is a good place to start. Now, this music isn't ringing a bell. Is this from... Sorry, give me a sec. I was just looking at the... Oh, is this the Honeybee? Yeah, Honeybee Manor. Yep. That tracks as to why I'm not super familiar with it. I usually spend as little time dealing with the honeybees and stuff in the original game as I possibly can. There's an optional thing in the game that you can do to get, I think, a specific deodorant or something, but it's kind of homophobic and weird, so I avoid it. I actually haven't played the entirety of Remake yet, so yeah, that'll be interesting. It seems that they did not keep the implied sexual assault into that part, which is, you know, nice. But not a lot of players see that anyway, since it's like an optional way to get access to one of the things you need to dress up to meet Don Corneo. Basically, Cloud ends up getting into a hot tub with a bunch of dudes, and it's implied that he gets taken advantage of. And it's just really weird and absolutely a product of its time, and, you know, the impressions of, I guess, Japanese society in the 90s about gay guys. Yep. Yeah, the sexual assault and stuff in general is just not is too much. There's just too much of it in the media. But then again, I mean, worldwide, I say. This is not just a Japanese problem. If no one has ever read it before, I recommend the fanfiction The Fifth Act, like the word fifth spelled out. Oh, you're good, Sandra. Thank you for popping in regardless. Okay, is it? No, or is it? Okay, so that does count as part of it. Okay. If that's the case, let me get up here first before I do the outside. I hope you were able to fix your glasses, Sandra. Oh, but yeah, the fifth act, it's a fanfiction wherein Cloud gets yeeted into the past during the war with Wutai, and it's... Aw, that's lame. I'm sorry, I hope you can fix them. Yeah. Um... But yeah, I super enjoy that fic. Like, it's a gen fic. The only ships that happen are canon, specifically Aerith and Zack. And, it's just a really fascinating look on, Cloud's, I guess, well, time travel fix it. And it actually deals with Cloud's trauma, which is nice because he is a deeply, deeply mentally ill character and needs some help and stuff. And it actually acknowledges the fact that he canonically has PTSD and, you know, some other issues. So I thoroughly enjoyed it and I recommend it to fans of Final Fantasy VII. Of course, it makes a great deal more sense if you're familiar with the entirety of Squeenix's expanded universe for FF7, and that includes Advent Children and stuff. Yeah, I mean, we do get when we see that kind of stuff in the if we grew up with it and it's in the media every day, we can tend to overlook it simply because we become desensitized to it, which has its pros and cons, I guess. I mean, but at least you're making a conscious effort to remain cognizant of it, which is more than what a lot of folks do, and that's appreciated. Nope. That first short ad was great, but I will never listen. I will never willingly listen to any kind of medication ad. Okay, I don't remember. Is this He Who Fights? The name of this song? I gotta figure it out. Let me check. Okay, nope. I mean, it is still more fighting, but I think No, I guess He Who Fights must be the title of another, Final Fantasy track. Not this one. Okay. Not gonna lie, there's plenty of times when I was playing this game as a kid that I would just, not do anything in battle for a while, just to listen to the music. Because, of course, back then I didn't have access to the internet or anything. It's not like I could listen to these tracks normally. I never actually beat the original Final Fantasy VII because I'd borrowed the games from one of my cousins, and he had lost the fourth disc. But I have seen the ending and everything, so I understand any analysis and all that jazz. Hello, Bun. You're allowed to be late. You do you. I hope you got supper. I hope everyone's gotten something to snack on at least. I mean, yeah, that is fair, Coons. That's the problem with hanging too much, like, yeah, deifying the creators of things is less than ideal. Oh, what you making, Sandra? I had leftovers. Chipkin! Yeah, tomorrow is my chore day, but I'm gonna make sandwiches for the week, and some of them are gonna be chipkin. Okay, like I thought. Alright. This sounds like the song that plays when they, like, are escaping on the hauler. 37. Yep. It's called Crazy Motorcycle. It is absolutely the song that's playing when they escape Midgar. I was gonna say, I have that shit burned into my brain because I had I had even worse reflexes as a kid, and I had a hard time with the sequence where you have to murder a ton of soldiers to protect the rest of your squad on a bicycle. Yep. It is, in fact, the bicycle song. Motorbike, anyway. See, I spent a lot of time... God, what did I loved the little Moogle mini game in the Golden Saucer. I was just like enchanted by it. Even though it's not really a game. I actually avoided this I avoided the snowboarding. It has been like at least a decade since I played the original game, though. I didn't retain much. There's a lot of it I've forgotten. Wait, no, that's a lie. I was thinking about... No, I have played it more recently, when they released it for the PC. No, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I sucked at it, so I didn't do it. I sucked at the mini-games for the most part. Especially the chocobo races. Where's the edge? Okay. Ah, yes. The, like, leitmotif of this game. Yeah, I was just not good at them, and I didn't enjoy the races. Yeah, it's a pain in the patoo, but you could brute force some of the old games just by repetition. Took way too long, though. Oh, I never beat any, like... Here's the thing. When I first played that game, I was like 14, maybe? I did not have the patience to deal with any of that, and I didn't know about any of that. I didn't have access to the internet. So, like... all of the you know, the optional bosses and stuff that were hard to find without looking it up, I never did, because I never knew it was there. So I don't think I ever beat any of the weapons. And I haven't actually done that yet in the version I have for the PC either. I should, though, just for the experience of it. Yep, 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 yep. I think this is the overworld version. Yep. I remember some of these songs, downloading them from frickin' LimeWire back in the day. You know, the thing where like sometimes you might be downloading the song, but most of the time you were downloading viruses. Oh, I mean, that is kind of a random thing. Did it ever like tell you that elsewhere? That the emerald weapon did damage based on the materia? Because it's not certainly not something I would have ever guessed. See, that kind of stuff, it just never even occurred to, like, I never would have beaten Emerald either, if that was the case. Because you can brute force some stuff, but, like, not all the time. Ah, that's what I was missing. I probably like Reeve as a character more than I should. Like, yes, he has committed war crimes, but so has everyone else. Oh, really? Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, like, you can't search the answer to something if you don't know, and if the information's not readily available on the internet, no wonder. But yeah, I don't know, there's something about this particular game, or, well, this particular fandom, I guess, that really... It's like with Star Wars, it, like, really tickles my brain. I wish Squeenix wasn't so lazy about retconning and, like, just shoving stuff in here, but, you know. Yeah, that's fair. I think there were a couple of optional bosses I never beat in Kingdom Hearts for a similar reason. Like, just some of them are so hard to brute force. Well, I think yeah, different strokes for different folks. There's just something about like the setting of the game and the characters that really is really gripping for me in particular. Like, I mean, how many times do you have a mentally ill main character? Like, that's not super duper common. That's true. Yeah, I can imagine, Coons, that it would definitely give off different vibes than the earlier ones. I think a lot of folks like 7 because, due to it being on the PlayStation 1 and being in 3D, for a lot of folks it was more accessible than the earlier titles. They did, you know, re-release those titles later and remake some of them in 3D, but I think for a lot of folks, 7 and the ones that came after, like, they uh, those are really their childhood Final Fantasies. 10 was technically my first, but I was like playing 7 around the same time. Yeah. Well, pixel art can be truly incredible, and I really admire that the artists of that era, both, uh, like the art artists and the musicians, could do so much with so little. It's super impressive. That's actually something when I met Yoko Shimomura, well, I shook her hand super briefly at a thing in Anime Boston years ago. That was something she and the person with her, who was one of the first, who worked on the first Mega Man game for music. They were talking about limitations and stuff. Unlike early 3D, early pixel art, or pixel art in general, really, I think, stands the test of time better than 3D art. Or 3D graphics, I mean. 3D graphics after a certain point will always look aged and dated. But pixel stuff, like, due to it being a limited, it never really looks, at least to me, it never looks dated. Or at least not to the same degree. Also, good. I'm glad you're able to help with your glasses. Or to fix your glasses, rather. I mean, I'm certainly irritated and bitter about about Disney in particular, abandoning the 2D, because a lot of their stuff would be a lot better in 2D. I'm glad, Kit, and thank you for helping me fix that last week. Thank you for popping in. Well, I'm glad it sounds better. Okay. Okay. Kit, have you had supper? Why is it continually playing that? Why did they have... Oh, it's 4 times. I don't know why they put it on the thing 4 times. Kit, I need you to take a quick break and get a snack, please. Yeah, you need a break. Please go get yourself a snack and something to drink, alright? You're gonna be more productive if you just reset your brain, and your brain needs calories to focus properly. Do yourself a favor. Take a quick break. It doesn't have to be long. It only has to be 5 or 10 minutes. But if you do take this break and eat something, use the bathroom, get a drink, you will feel so much better. Do yourself a favor. You'll be able to think more clearly with calories in you. It is important. I understand. And it's stressful and you just want to focus on getting it fixed. But if you do not take care of yourself, you cannot fix things. So many tiny things to clean on this, and I'm not even into the center area yet. But this is pretty accurate. There. Alright, well, let's get you guys, let's get the Mako off of you. It's a good thing our character is wearing a full bodysuit, because exposure to Mako ain't great. Okay, now I'm curious about this song. Is this on the Chocobo Ranch? 52 minutes, so that's... Yeah, I was right! This is, like, farm something, and then the next song is gonna be probably the iconic Chocobo Waltz. Yeah. Well, at least, if you can, try to at least get yourselves toast or something. If you have access to it. Okay, now we want to do the reactors before we do the rest of the model. I'd send you something if I could. Do you have flour and stuff? I think I know. I think I could find a recipe for some quick biscuits that don't need time to rise or anything. Nope. Okay, so long as you guys have something to eat. Yeah. See, when I hear this, all I can think of is what I think is Brentofloss's joke song set to this tune. Final Fantasy is an RPG, the only one that I need. Alrighty. This part of it sounds like a surfer tune. It's not Brent. Like I said, I didn't look it up who it belonged to. It's just stuck in my head from years and years ago. Rippin' Pipcoons. If it's stuck in my head, well, shame. I guess you'll have to join me. I feel so bad. I met Brentofloss once, and I think I weirded him out because I was, like, most of the way in the bag, and I, like, shook his hand, and I was like, please be careful. And I, like, stared him dead in the eyes, and I was like, thank you for coming. Please be safe on your way home. And I think I freaked him out a little bit, just because I was, like, really focused on it. I was like, please be safe. Oh, okay. See, I thought he had done one, to the same tune. I just couldn't remember. You know what? I had missed this game. I definitely missed this game. But I'm so, like, accustomed to some of the levels now that it's, I don't play it so much nowadays. But I should. Okay, I've done all the reactors then. Alright, well. There we are. Okay, so that's how that goes. Well, I'll start with these plates. You said you enjoyed this PowerWash Sim too, Sandra? I thought you said last time I played it. It's fun. And the creators are really good at listening to people too. Like with feedback and stuff. Which is always nice. I'm gonna deal with Shinra Tower and all these bits and bobs once I get these main plates finished, I think. Of course, that's gonna be a job in and of itself. Yeah, the creators seem super genuine. They've also, at one point, they actually sponsored one of my favorite YouTubers, RT Game. He and one of his buddies power washed some stuff in real life that the game creators had set up for them. It was very funny and silly. Because, I mean, RT is a chaos gremlin, so it should surprise no one that he decided to bring the chaos into real life as well. There we are. Alright, yeah. Okay, this middle bit's good. I realized I was a parody of myself earlier this week when I was commuting back home on the train, and someone complimented me on my backpack. My little backpack that I use at the moment is a Boba Fett backpack, and when they complimented me on it, I was reading a Star Wars fanfiction. I was like, I'm a joke. I'm a parody of myself. I'm not upset about it. It's just funny. Of course, I go through cycles with what fanfic I read for what, like, fandom. Like, I never fall in or out of love with things usually. I just stop focusing on things. But I gotta say, my current, like, obsession with Star Wars has been going on for like 4 years now, and I think it's just permanent now. I've always loved Star Wars, but for whatever reason, getting into the fandom now has just really made it stick. Yeah. You know, weirdly enough, the one thing I usually can't read is Kingdom Hearts fanfics. It's like one of the only things that really super bothers me. Aside from the ones that are by my friend Dia, who is a good friend of mine, and I went to Disney with them a few times, but like stuff Kingdom Hearts in particular, I just can't read fanfic about it unless there's super specific things that I can read. Like that's it though. Wait, is that? Nope, which means that this is self-contained, and I need to clean it. Oh, Lord in heaven. Is this the song from the time where you infiltrate the Shinra base and you have to go along with what the dudes are doing? Like the dances and stuff? Because I was ridiculously bad at it. Like, it was ludicrously... it was pathetic. I never passed this section when I played it. I was very bad at it. No, I'm almost certain that this is the song. Every Final Fantasy game, there's usually one section that most people really super hate. For 10, it's Blitzball. And for me, it's this part of 7. Yeah, 7, because they were playing with things, since it was like the first fully well, I say fully 3D, but you know what I mean. It was the first properly 3D title, so they were playing with a lot of different mechanics and stuff, especially mini games. Like, there's so many mini games in 7. And I was bad at most of them. Dude, but we've had this discussion before, Bun. Like, Blitzball... I fucking hate Blitzball. As a concept, it's delightful. But they're forcing me to play sports. I don't even understand the rules of real sports. You think I'm gonna be able to memorize fantasy sports? Oh, I've already done here. This is what I was working on. Except I don't know where... It's telling me I'm missing a good chunk of it, and I'm not sure where that good chunk is. Oh, it's down there. Oh, great. I mean, yeah, this is... okay. It's part of why I haven't replayed the fucking game in years. Yeah, I can't blame you, Bun, but here's the thing. I hated Blitzball, but except I never wanted to lose the mandatory game you have to play because it would make Waka sad. Like, it was gonna be Waka's last game. Like, I'm too empathetic to fucking... It hurt me to lose, so I just had to keep retrying and brute forcing it till I won. So like, I hardly never replay the game. Yeah, we can't let him down. Waka's a sweetheart. He's the big brother. But yeah, the Final Fantasy games, I don't love Square Enix as a company, but I do enjoy some of their titles. They definitely hit or miss on the, like, additional stuff, though. Like, as far as I'm concerned, the additional supplemental material for Final Fantasy X in particular does not exist. Because I'm sorry. There's no way in... Okay, so, like... So, according to Square Enix, like, the Final Fantasy X world is the Final Fantasy VII world. They were trying to say some bullshit about that. Or at least implying that that was the case. And in the quote-unquote canon, like, mini, like... There was... sorry, I'm butthurt about a lot of the shit that happened with 10. So, one of the supplemental materials is an audio drama for 10, and it exists, like, after the games and everything. And it involves like, the main character is someone who is Oron's daughter, first off. And then in that audio drama, at the end of it, fucking Sin comes back. No explanation, no nothing. And in that, in that little audio drama, so not only does it end on a cliffhanger, it doesn't tell you what happens after Sin shows up, it doesn't tell you how they fix it, it doesn't tell you anything. Like, it just has Sin show up and then nothing. And they never address that again. They also have it so that the golden ending for Final Fantasy X2 is canon, and Tidus did come back, but he and Yuna are, like, on bad terms. Which, okay, not understandable, but, like, one of the, like, short books that goes along with 10 says that, like, when Tidus did come back, he and Yuna didn't get along at all now, and, like, they were apparently, like, out somewhere, and there was, like, they had an argument. Tidus, like, wandered off. He was, like, I think they were near Besaid, and he, like, kicked a rock in frustration, and the rock turned out to be a mine, blew up, killed him. Yuna, like, restored him to life, except now that he's restored to life, he's, like, doesn't have any, like, he's, like, acts like a different person. And I'm just like, why do you have to manufacture this bullshit? Like, you can't just let these kids have their happy ending? It's just unnecessarily angsty for something that was added onto the game, like, a decade after the fact. It's like, I'm sorry, whoever worked on this, apparently you're having issues that you're projecting onto this game. But as far as I'm concerned, those kids earned their happy ending, and Spira, like, deserves a chance to grow and not have Sin come back out of literally nowhere. There's no reason or way that Sin should have been able to come back. Yevon was, like, banished, and, like, the cycle was ended. It makes no goddamn sense, and it bothers me a lot that they did that and manufactured, manufactured drama between Tidus and Yuna for the lols, I guess? For drama? I'm deeply irritated by Square Enix. In a lot of ways. For a lot of reasons. Oh shit, I was meaning to do the plates. I wasn't supposed to be doing this just yet. Oops. I was focused too much on what I was talking about and not on what I was doing. But yeah, Square Enix makes a lot of dumbass decisions, and I'm not on board with quite a few of them, especially when it comes to FF10. FF10 was my first, and therefore I care a lot about it. Yeah, it's weird as shit. It really is. And here's the thing, like, I think all of my closest friends have heard me have that rant at least once, if not more times, and I'm sorry that any of you listening are listening to it yet again. 10 means a lot to me because it was my second ever video game for the console. Like, and my first was Kingdom Hearts. My second was Final Fantasy X. So, like, the game means a lot to me, and to see it treated so poorly from, like, a development standpoint and a storytelling standpoint is deeply insulting. It's like, no. And whatever I write, none of that is canon. I don't care whether or not Tidus and Yuna are still dating. I care that they're happy and friends. I still think that they would be friends, unless, like, whoever was restored at the end of the golden ending in S2 was not Tidus. Like, there's no reason they shouldn't just at least be friends. So if you buy the like Final Fantasy X combo that comes with Final Fantasy X-2. It's on Steam, and I think it's on, like, what's the other one, Ultimate Games or something. Like, you can buy them as a set, and that set, physically or digitally, includes the bonus material I was talking about. It doesn't include the novels, but it includes the audio drama and some information about the other, like I think it has summaries of the books. And again, Japan has a weird history of its like audio dramas and supplemental materials like not usually being canon to whatever work it came from. So I don't know. Someone was real bitter about their life and projected it onto the game and the characters, I guess. And then 7 has its own issues. Like, in the original game, like, and actually I can't even say much about that because the translation for Final Fantasy VII was so poorly done in the original. Like a lot, like, the game tells or implies you that Seng and some of the other folks, like, get killed. So when those characters showed up again in Advent Children, Americans playing were very confused because the translation said they died. The translation was just off. It was just poorly done, and it's kind of a shame because it really, like, worsened folks' understanding of the game. Also, hi Brian, thank you for popping back in. You know, I think it would be hast in that context. I hast returneth. But who knows, because, like, old school English is a mess. Because remember, kids, English is not a language. English is like half of a corpse that keeps ambushing things in dark alleyways and rifling through their pockets for loose grammar. Like, it is a Frankenstein's monster excuse for a language, and it is a disaster. Like, every verb we have, almost every verb we have, or, like, actually noun, we usually have at least 3 terms for it. Because because the Anglo-Saxons were ruled over by both the French and the Romans for a period of time, we usually have a French term for something, a Latin term for something, and something from the original language, the original Anglo-Saxon language. And, like, the French is usually the fancy one, the Anglo-Saxon is usually seen as crude, and the Latin one is usually seen as more technical. Like, what was it? Like, I have to find examples, but, like, one I saw on a post was like regal, kingly, royal, or something like that. It was how we have multiple terms for the same thing in English, simply because of the combination of languages, and they have different connotations due to how we view those languages. It's fascinating. She says as her English major pops out of nowhere and then retreats into the nothingness that is her brain. I certainly cannot speak. I've forgotten many, many things. Oh, is this Coral Town? I gotta find. We're at an hour 15. Oh, it's the Badlands near Cosmo Canyon. Okay, that's what this song goes to. Alright. I don't know where the last bit of stuff is. I assume... Ah, there we are. Ah. I jumped right over you. Actually, yeah, it tracks that this song would be in the places near Cosmo Canyon. Because the Cosmo Canyon music does use a lot of flutes and drums and stuff. I'm glad it's canon that Red 13, Nanaki, has kids after this whole mess. Like, he's seen as the last of his species in the main game, but in canon, he, like, actually has kids when he grows up a little bit. And it's nice because, you know, not the last of his kind anymore. And it's also very sad because he and Vincent, like, meet up periodically because they outlive all of their friends by decades. Because Vincent, you know, is technically semi-immortal, and Nanaki's species are super long-lived. I've forgotten how much I love this tune, this one in particular. It's very good. There's also a lot that could be said about how they handle Nanaki's people in Cosmo Canyon and like indigenous people stuff. But I am not educated enough on those subjects to really speak to it. But it's interesting that there are things that come up in this game. Got a lot of soot on it, and I'm kind of wondering where the soot came from. Obviously, we know where the monster goop and the Mako came from. But, what else were y'all doing with that soot? Okay. So there was that one. I'll say the last one I'll do today will be 7th Heaven, because this will take me a while. And this is from Tifa. We've been having lots of trouble with Don Corneo and his grunts for a while, but last night took it to a whole nother level. They stormed into 7th Heaven unannounced, ordered the entire menu twice over, and proceeded to spill on every possible surface. I would have beaten the snot out of every one of those thugs right then and there, but then we'd have a lot more trouble on our hands than a few small-time gangsters. Anyway, my friend starter Marlene has been hanging out here a lot, so I want the place squeaky clean for her. I do it myself, but it's almost 0 hour at a job I've got over in Sector 1, so I need the speed of a pro. I'd really appreciate it if you could get the bar looking good as new. Thanks! Start job. Alright. I do look for... This one has a lot of fun stains, because you've got dried bioresidue and a certain someone's gun here. And then we've got a certain someone's sword over here. And I don't remember whether or not Tifa's gloves are around anywhere. But those ones are fun enough. Alright, so what I usually do with these jobs is start at the floor. I think this is probably one of my... Actually, no. I know for a fact that this is my favorite stage of any of the game's DLCs so far. Like... Fucking Seventh Heaven, y'all. I really think Tifa is underappreciated as a character, and part of that is due to some of the laziness of the writers. Like, she was definitely, obviously, all the women in the games and in the company's repertoire as a whole are less developed than the men. That's just kind of par for the course with Japanese stuff. But it's very funny to me that like a lot of fans reverse Tifa and Aerith's personalities. Like they seem to see like Tifa as like a very brash person, whereas she does have her moments of brashness, but in reality, the gal of the group who is like the most aggressive in a weird way is Aerith. Whereas Tifa's actually pretty mild-mannered, all things considered. Like, yes, she is a badass and she won't hesitate to murder folks, but like, she's honestly such a relatively mild-mannered person. Versus, like, Aerith as the shit disturber. A very sweet shit disturber, but one nonetheless. What is this song? It's pretty. That was called The Great Warrior. And this one is 23. Descendant of Shinobi. Oh, that means this is a Yuffie song. Yeah, that tracks. Oh, Yuffie. I know it's a media thing in general, and especially like an anime Japanese thing in general. But to see like a 14, 15-year-old running around in the shortest shorts imaginable is not the best for me personally. But, you know, let's make those underage children sexy. Let's do it. Oh gee, I wonder whose music this is. This song alone had Baby Shara, like, shaking. I was just so easily spooked by anything Sephiroth related. Like, after he massacres most of the folks at Shinra HQ, and you run around the building with like the spooky fucking music and like the blood smears all over the place, I was like low-key freaking out for playing that as a kid. And I've told the story to I think most folks at this point, but so Sephiroth is an optional fight in the Colosseum in Kingdom Hearts. I didn't know that. But when Baby Shara, like, had Sora waiting, and then the cutscene starts, because those missions, they start with question marks. You don't get to know who is the enemy before it starts. So I just see a silhouette, and then I just see, like, a feather come, like, there's feathers and a wing, and, like, he reaches out one of his arms in a grasping motion to his side, and then the fucking song starts, and Sephiroth, like, you know, attacks your character, and I legitimately threw my controller and almost destroyed me and my brother's TV as a result. Like, I shrieked. It was a whole thing. And then, I immediately got murdered by Sephiroth, but in the period of time between that and when I could fumble to get to press the pause button. So that was fun. This feels Vincent-ish. What song is this? 127. Oh, no, this is... Wait. Oh, yeah, I think this is a Vincent song. It's called A Nightmare Begins. And he's always babbling about his nightmare. Don't worry, Vincent, I love you. As a teenager, my current roommate and me, Ashley, had a little birthday party for Vinny on his... I don't remember what his actual birthday was. But, we made like a devil's food cake. Specifically because, Vinny is associated with demons and the stuff. It was the silliest thing. But yeah, we were one of those kids that once upon a time celebrated a fictional character's birthday. And this, I just checked, is, I guess, Sid's theme. This is probably, like, I love many of the Sids from various games, but this game's version is one of my favorites. Simply because he's just so grumpy. He also looks like he does, except the guidebook says he's like 32, and I'm like, I don't know about that. But Japan has a weird relationship with age. Like, they don't dare to make characters very old, even when realistically they should be in their, like, mid-30s to 40s. Sid, realistically, should be probably at least 40, but in-game, I'm pretty sure he's in his early to mid-30s. Per the guidebook. And Vincent is kind of weird to say because he's, spent like half his life in sleeping. Because I think he was in his 20s when the thing with Lucrezia and them and Hojo happened. And then Sephiroth is 30. So he was asleep for so he's like in his 50s or almost 60 at this point, technically. This is such an irritating little section. Nyeh. ¿Por qué? What am I to do? I hate that they do this. Like, it's not as common on regular levels, but when it comes to DLC, they always make an area that is, like, no matter what you do, extremely difficult to clean. They did this in the Disney level, too. And it's Disney. Santa. Whoop! Legitimately did not try to go up the stairs, or the ladder, so that was interesting. This sounds like when our characters... Yep, yeah, this has to be like the Wutai town we visit. to think of it, I think most characters in this game have daddy issues. Like, Yuffie has, like, severe disagreements with her pops. Clouds was never around. Tifa's dad, like, severely restricted her like, freedoms when she was still living with him and he was alive. Yeah, I got a lot of folks who are having parental issues. And of course, the most daddy and mommy issues of all time, you've got Sephiroth. I wonder if they'll confirm whether or not it's canon that Vincent is Sephiroth's dad. It's like hinted at in Dirge Cerberus, but it's never confirmed. So I guess we'll see if the next remake game ever, if it ever even comes up. Because I would say that their character models look alike, but they're both generically pretty boys with vaguely Japanese features. That's a default. Ah, I just realized I'm supposed to be cleaning the floor and not the stools. This keeps happening. The ADD is strong with this one, y'all. Must exercise restraint. Meh? This is not a song that I remember. Oh, it's a Chocobo song. Okay. That would explain why I'm not familiar with it. It's one of the songs you play in the Chocobo races. Which I did not do. I guess it tracks. It's got vaguely the same melody. Sorry guys, give me a sec here. Alright. Had to adjust something. And I think these next few are also some Chocobo racing songs. You know, if the current song were not enough indication of that. I love Chocobos as a concept. They're such funny little dudes. They have a song that's very close to this one. Not just obviously in the melody, but in like how the song is. Like I'm pretty sure they use that song as direct inspiration for one of the Chocobo racing songs in Final Fantasy XIV. No. You skip? No. Sorry, I'm struggling with thing. Nope. Do not need that. Thank you. Here we go. This... Oh! That was... So that was Chocobo Racing. Is this... This is gonna be from that little play that you have the option to do when you go on a date in the Golden Saucer. I hope they keep the possibility of going on the date with Barrett when they get to that point in the remake. I think it would be deeply funny. Also, Barrett in the remake is unfairly attractive. Everyone's unfairly attractive, but oh my goodness, Barrett. Like, he's got such big, like, soulful eyes. Actually, I don't remember how old Barrett is supposed to be. I think him and Sid are supposed to be of a similar age. Oh, and one of the handheld games, I don't remember the name of it. There's like a relatively newer one that you get to see bits and pieces of stuff that the main game doesn't cover. Like there's a couple of little parts in the game where like you go over when Barrett actually first met Tifa when she first got to the city. And like Tifa basically deciding to properly join Avalanche and stuff. So, that's pretty neat. I'll have to remember the name of the game. And you get to see, like, her making friends with Jessie and them as well. Okay, so that's the floor. Ceiling next, maybe? It would definitely brighten up the room. This song's familiar. This sounds like Vinny. Oh, this is the temple. The in the Forest of the Ancients. Well, the Forest of the temple in the Forest of the Ancients is what I was trying to say. I'm honestly kind of dreading what kind of games Square Enix is going to play with us as we get further into the remake and this part of the story. When we get into the forest and stuff. And of course, whenever that gong comes in, that's never good. I have to do chores and make food for the rest of the week tomorrow. But I am a lazy creature and do not want to. But alas, food is a requirement for life. I mean, I'd rather, like, as far as I'm concerned, Coons, I wish they would give you the option for that, I guess. Like, for fans like you and for fans who want a little bit more who want to be able to take more time with things and play stuff in a like the old-fashioned way, I really wish that turn-based was an option in the remakes. I get why they're not. I get why they're moving away from it because it is kind of an old-school mechanic, but at the same time, I wish there was like a toggle or an option. Ah, the upsetty spaghetti song, aka the one that makes me tear up sometimes. Aerith deserves so much better. I know it's technically Aeris, but I'm gonna stick with Aerith. It's what I grew up with and I like it better. It's the version that was in Kingdom Hearts 1, so it's the one I got attached to. Yeah, I can't blame you for feeling that way. They didn't call it an easy mode, did they? That is kind of insulting. Even if it is, like, the version I would probably rather play. Turn-based stuff shouldn't be seen as easy. Well, turn-based just gives you more time to think about what you're doing. It's like chess. You get to actually plan out your decision making. Hmm. Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite all-time Final Fantasy songs in general. It's just quite good. And then the squad gets to lose Cloud to PTSD for a while. And, the mind control didn't help with that regard. Poor fucker. It's a Cloud. Oh, classic mode. Okay. Yeah, let's be real here. I feel like when I played it, I actually did use classic mode. Or I switched between that and the other modes. Good to know. When I get my PlayStation and stuff set up again, I'll have to start a new game and remake to get my ducks in a row. I do rather wish you could move in that mode, though. I understand why you can't, but... Okay, wait, no. This is walls. We're supposed to be working on the ceiling. Sorry. I guess it doesn't matter what order we do stuff in, but I'm trying to keep some rain on my brain. No one else can. Oh, this is spooky. Okay, now I need to know what this song is. Oh, the Great Northern Cave. AKA the cave that is Is that the one that's close to the meteor where Genova first fell to Gaia? I don't remember. It's probably not just you, Coons. Like, if you feel that way, there's a strong chance that a lot of other fans of the old games feel the same. And even if it is just you, there's nothing wrong with having your own opinion. Oh yeah, this has got to be... Yeah, the Northern Cave near the Northern Crater. And that the Northern Crater is where Genova first fell to Gaia. As a meteor. So of course they decided it was a great idea to dig her back up after she'd been imprisoned there again. Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't want the game to be easy just because it's turn-based. Keep the regular difficulty. Like... I do enjoy, like, the threads of cosmic horror to do with the fucking Genova being like an alien eldritch being. It's very fun. Now that's a valid reason to be irritated by it, Coons. It's like, thank you, please don't adjust the difficulty of my game. It's so well done. The Genova boss music, like, all the different phases of fighting, all the different Genova bits and bobs, like, they're all so well done because they're eerie, because they're disconcerting, and it's very good. It's not just like the typical scary. It's just like, I don't know, like hair on the back of your neck vibes. I might as well complete the fan while I'm here, I guess. Okay, did I get all the blades? Got the light. Okay, yeah. Let's see. I always so I understand why the PowerWash team makes all of these areas so uniformly filthy. Like, they, you know, they want to hide the original colors and give you the pleasure of cleaning it. I absolutely understand from like a gameplay point of view why they would do that. But for 7th Heaven to be this uniformly filthy, like, this was not just the work of like a couple of Don Corneo's thugs. They would have had to come in here with like a sprayer of like disgusting like soot and stuff for everything to be this uniformly dirty. I'm not giving them flack for doing it that way. I just think it's just funny if you like out of context, I guess. It's like, yes, some of Don Corneo's men were in here. That's why this looks like it has been abandoned for 30 years. Oh, yeah, good point. I mean, having soot everywhere would make sense for it being in the slums. Like, the folks down here don't really get electricity. Like, I bet that they're either siphoning it from the city, or they're like, I don't know, burning shit or something for electricity. Yeah, that's fair. There we are. I'm really happy with all the little details in this place, though. I'll go over some of them as I clean them. I mean, you're probably right, Coons, but I don't think I work for Shinra. Whoever my character is in this world, they implied they came from far away. So I'm not sure where exactly. Like Reeve specifically said that it was a real pain to get my character to Shinra, to Midgar. So like, I'm kind of curious as to this version's backstories. Where's my character from? Wutai? What tactic? Pretending to be a cleaner or something? No, I know. But I mean, what tactic are you saying Cloud used that? Well, what excuse? Oh, okay. I mean, he's not wrong. He's technically right. That same lei motif. It's very good. Okay. Well, one of the things I should do is clean the lights. It won't actually change the coloring in the room or the lighting in the room, but it makes me feel better. Yeah, that's fair. Crossovers from different universes, like the Tales. I believe the Tales of games have had a few different crossover games of that ilk. I actually bought some of the more recent ones a while ago. I should probably actually play them. Slightly difficult to get to where they're dirty. Okay, are you still dirty? Okay, good. That's alright. I can't blame you, especially since your glasses broke earlier, Sandra. You do you. No one is under any obligation to chat or anything. I appreciate your presence, regardless. Where in the shit is... Oh, of course. Oof. To get new glasses? Rest your eyes, friendo. Don't strain yourself. Oh, I see. Yeah, that would make it difficult to really do much. I think that's all the lights. So... I guess I'm just gonna start doing the walls. What's really interesting is Midgar is an extremely, like, baby city. Midgar, as it is in-game, like, has only been around for... Like, they only just finished construction on the last of the plates within the last 20 years, because some of them weren't up when Sephiroth was born. I think, like, one was still in the process of being built or something. Oh, that's good. That'll be convenient once you can go. But yeah, I think it's in Dirge of Cerberus that they talk about, like, old Midgar and the little town it was before it got turned into this city. Because, I mean, that's what the church and stuff is from. There was an entire town, and Shinra just decided to build on top of it for some reason. And of course, you hear about that in Dirge of Cerberus because you deal with Deep Ground, which is built beneath the ruins of the original city. I hope your boss is understanding, Sandra. I really do. I mean, you would think that it would behoove them to permit their employee, like, some time to do their own thing. And, you know, have a relatively happy and healthy employee. This is pretty. What is this? We just hit 2 hours on this playlist, so Off the Edge of Despair. Interesting. Some of these tunes I'm less familiar with the closer we get towards the end of the game, because I simply had never heard them in game before because I never finished the game. So I'll have to get the name of the game that my buddy Dia is playing from them. But it part of the game, you you play as like baby Sephiroth, like when he's like 14, because that's when BT Dubs, they sent like a 14-year-old into the war in Wutai, just wholesale, just because he happened to be, a little bit bioengineered. And the first soldiers weren't really edited much, not edited, enhanced. They weren't really enhanced at all. So in that game, like, you get to meet, like, the 3 starter soldiers. And they're all, like, relatively normal dudes. And all of them take a look at Sephiroth and go, that's a baby. Why is a baby fighting in the war? And they actually give him, like, head ruffles and stuff. And that leads me to believe that they're all gonna die really horrific deaths. Because, Sephiroth can't have healthy authority figures in order to grow up the way he did. But some of the stuff he says in that game about how he was raised is like, holy shit, Hojo, I knew you were a piece of crap, but like this is beyond the pale. And it makes more sense as to why Seth grew up the way he did and like why he became what he did. Because like he lost his entire support structure in the matter of like a year or so, in some really horrific ways, and then like gets pushed physically to like the brink with fighting and back-to-back missions and stuff. And then you get the mission in Nibelheim, because all of it was engineered by Hojo, like the fake evidence and stuff. All of it was engineered basically to make Sephiroth snap. And he did, because he had no support structure left. They were all either dead or, like, had betrayed him. So... And you get somebody who was never properly socialized or had, like, many friendly relationships with others his own age. Stick him into that kind of situation where he's doubting, like, his own humanity. And it's really no wonder that the events happened the way they did. Then you put him within access to Genova's Eldritch bullshit. And it's a recipe for disaster. Because it's just kind of sad, because the Sephiroth you meet in, like, Crisis Core and stuff, like the early games, or not the early games, the early, like, the spin-offs set before the events in Nibelheim. He's just, like, a weird, like... He's just a weird little dude. He's just an poorly socialized young adult. Ah. Never have I wished ill on a fictional character as much as I do Hojo. Because he's a shit scientist and a shit dad. Double whammy. Gold time pinball. I mean, yes. But bear in mind, like, they don't show it as much in the original game, so they, like, retconned it to give Sephiroth more of a reason to become unstable with Crisis Core. Like, all of his friends, all of the men who served under him, all of them either dying or themselves going insane or turning into monsters. And then he gets confronted with the fact that he's not as human as he thought he was, along with, like, delusional bullshit that Hojo put there specifically to mess with him. And, after working, like, being physically and mentally exhausted, add all of that into a picture, and it's an explosion, quite legitimately. The Soldier Project is messed up, and I'm these characters in this game that are these original soldiers that are serving with, like, baby Sephiroth, I know these people have to die a really terrible death for them to not be around for the events of Crisis Core and stuff, these people had to have died really terrible deaths. So, I guess we'll see how that game ends. Volcano bombs. Of course, like, Hojo isn't even quite as psychotic as he would become later in the games that are set earlier. But given the fact that he began injecting himself with Genova cells after a while, like, I guess it makes sense that he went nuts. Oh, I love the bombs! Hojo's an absolute monster. Like, physically, mentally, emotionally, like, he's just a shit human being. And he was even before he started injecting himself with Genova cells. The fun thing about Final Fantasy VII is that it you can really tell that it's a product of its time and that they were very heavily going people in power should not be given too much power because power in Greek corrupts. Yeah. The more you read of the supplemental material, the worse Hojo gets. Sometimes it's subtext rather than full text, but it's still pretty terrible. Right, I'm supposed to be working on the walls. Let me go back over here and do these first. Yeah, there's no way, like, Hojo was such a repulsive dude. There's no way that Lucrezia, like, actually loved him. She just kind of, I think, felt either pressured or obligated. Especially because, like, canonically, she actually did care for Vincent. So personally, I'm still on the Vincent is Sephiroth's biological father boat, but I know that's not technically canon, at least not yet. And Hojo certainly doesn't know what love is. Should do that while I'm up here. Thank you for the wonderful memories. Okay, that's what that says. I love that part of Aerith's like melody is woven into this. It's so well done. it's a picture of the bar. It's probably a picture of the game, really. Yeah, no, if you notice in the game, like, none of the new structures in the slums are made from bricks. This is absolutely, like, a remnant of the old city. It has to be. Chocobo Show! Aw. Station Edge Building. Interesting. I like this little decoration here, the tomato thingo. It's a bathroom. Neat. I wonder how closely this is to the... I mean, because all of this so far, the vibes are pretty close, like... But I haven't looked at the OG layout or the remake layout of Seventh Heaven in a long time. So I wonder how close some of these small details are. But they're pretty good. This team's pretty good at replicating stuff. Like the clock tower for the Back to the Future DLC seems pretty friggin' close. I kind of like to know why there's no, like, bigger governments in this world. Like these aren't countries. All of the big places we go to, there are no countries aside from Wutai. Everything else is like a city-state. This is a very, like Greek or Roman type of setup here. Like, there aren't any, like, President Shinra, like, he really only rules, technically, over that one town. Yes, let's power wash a television. Nothing will go wrong. Everything's fine, don't worry about it. This won't damage anything, it's fine. Welcome to our hometown. This is all very cute. Nice little details. What is up here? Or what is... Ah, that was what I was missing. It seems... Ah, the infamous song! The song that sent Baby Shara running for the hills. Seventh Heaven. Store Manager Tifa. Nah. Oh yeah, I forgot about Marlene's little drawings. Oh, so that's a photograph of Barrett with Marlene. And that's her art. And that's another photograph, I presume. As far as like researchers throwing away their morals for their own benefit, that's very much a theme in 14. In 7 in general, though. Like Mako, the implications of Mako are not simply like it's radiation plus like chemical warfare, which is very indicative of Japan's opinion on both nuclear stuff and like chemical attacks at the time, because like some of Shinra's actions, or not Shinra, Avalanche, like some of the aftermath is like directly based on the sarin gas attacks that had occurred not long before this game came out or was created. Oh, that's good. I'm glad it helps. But yeah, there's folks that have done like really incredible video essays and stuff on this topic. So like I'm just babbling at this point, but like more than most Final Fantasy games, 7 is like a direct result of the time period it was made in. Like not long after the sarin gas attacks in Japan, like right when like global warming was becoming more and more of a pressing concern, like the environmentalist stuff. There's a lot going on in the game. I'd have to be more articulate, I would have to find like some of those like video essays I watched quite a while ago, but there's folks who are a great deal more educated and articulated than I am who have spoken about this at length. Yeah. Yeah, like a lot of the Final Fantasy games like are just sort of generic fantasy. Like to a certain extent, like 10 is, and a lot of the others are. I wouldn't say generic fantasy exactly, but like not many of them are as directly influenced by real life events as 7 is. I would hesitate again to say that it has to be like one of the ones that is influenced by real world events more so than most of the others. Gloriosa. I actually semi-memorized the Latin for this song out of curiosity and boredom as a teenager. Because it is all Latin. Istans interis ira vehementi. More of Aerith's theme sneaking in here. Mixed with a different melody entirely. This frame is not having a good time. Get dirty. There we are. The Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy VII parts of the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack were some of the few music I had in high school on my computer. So when I got an MP3 player, I would bring it everywhere with me, walking to and from school and stuff. This one and the regular Overland theme were some of my favorites to just have on for walking. Okay, yes, the stool is still dirty. There. A scoozy box, where are you dirty? Let me clean. Man. Okay, that was satisfying, I gotta say. The dings, the quick dings, they're very good. Very serotonin heavy. This song in particular is a nice little medley. What is it? Let's see, it's too... Ah, it's called World Crisis. Sounds about right. I think this is gonna be like the one that plays during the final cutscene. The one where the crew stops Meteor and everything. Well, semi-stops Meteor. I mean, Midgar's kind of screwed, but more people survive than not, which is good. Today's menu: soft drinks, Spriker Soda Star, coffee drink, milk coconut, snack enjoy, special day drink. Guys, is that spelled like that on purpose? Or did someone just not proofread anything? Or is that what it says in canon? I don't know. I am amused either way. Yeah, I think this was one of the songs I used to have on my MP3 player because it was relatively long. And of course, I used to imagine, like, my own AMVs to it. Okay, so this is still partially dirty, alright. Ah, it was on this side. What about you? You're good? You are not good. I keep getting distracted. You're good. You're good. You are not. Okay, there we are. Come on, let me clean you. No offense to y'all, but I would like to sleep sometime tonight, and this takes a while. Okay, there's still like a tiny bit of something somewhere, is there? It's a me-sized step stool. Okay, you done, you're done, you're good. You're good. You are still not good. Where are the dirty bits on you? Oh, well. Yeah, that would do it. I don't know why I didn't notice it before. Okay, I just did some... Okay. I was gonna say, I just noticed something that was dirty. Ah, well, yeah, that would do it. Okay. I think this little corner should be mostly good now. This is a very satisfying track. I don't know why. Ah. Thank you. Jeepers. Welcome there? Why wouldn't you just say welcome, or welcome home, or welcome there is such a weird... Okay. That might be some English, if they, like, directly... Like, if every detail in here is accurate to the original. That might just be one of those... cases where there's English in something that's Japanese, and, you know, don't really make sense. You know, just like how Americans tend to have Japanese, like, kanji and stuff all over the place that doesn't actually mean anything. But they think it does. It's not dissimilar. Hot sauce is apparently what was dried on there. Yes, power washing the radio, power washing all kinds of electric stuff. It is fine, don't worry about it. I was also power washing stuff like glass and junk in the Tomb Raider section. But yeah, I was power washing stuff that would be broken by that would, you know, clearly be broken by a power washer in the Tomb Raider, like, final level. And that was also fine, so I guess you know what? I'm gonna say it. Like, the power washer in our character's hands is like it's like a keyblade. It can only harm what it wants to. How are you still dirty? Where are you still dirty? Okay. Ah, the bar top encompasses over here as well. Understandable. But yes, Coons, power wash all your dishes. That totally won't result in a lot of broken dishes and, you know, half-empty wallet. It's fine. Huh. I'd forgotten that this song was also, like, a Final Fantasy, like, staple. I honestly forgot about that. Because it does, in fact, show up in every game, or most of the games at any rate. Did I finish the rest of Yellow Bar Stools? I guess so. Well, Cloud, you missed your chance to clean your own shit. Don't just leave it around if you don't want someone else cleaning it. It's not gonna rust. It's fine, apparently. Okay, it still says the bar top's missing. I think I've mentioned it to some of my buds before, but part of why the Buster Blade is so weird for me, Buster's my dad's nickname. More people call him Buster that don't back home. So, like, whenever I see the Buster Blade, I'm like, that's my dad's? Is that my dad's sword? This play, I gotta say though, I think they did a wonderful job with this level. And like I said, this is, I think, my favorite DLC level so far in general. Like, some of them are really fun. Like, I particularly like the Invisible Boatmobile level in the SpongeBob DLC. Like, I think it's super well executed and a ton of fun. But as far as it comes to just like, actually enjoying a level, this has gotta be it. It's good. It's nice that Barrett can take off his gun arm, though. That way he doesn't, you know, risk shooting Marlene. You know, come to think of it, this is also one of the few Final Fantasy titles where we have, like, multiple disabled characters on the main cast. Huh, I hadn't thought about that before. Poor Barrett. Like, he suffered more than anyone should have suffered. Like, obviously, the rest of the cast did as well, but, like, goddamn, he had a bad time. Let's see. I'm just gonna restart this. Yeah, he didn't come out a vegetable, which is more than we can say for some other folks. I'm sorry, Cloud. Then again, he also didn't get exposed to, like, a shit ton of Mako. See, yeah, you can't see those as swears. He's just being creative with punctuation, goons. Or, you know, they could be, you know, his version of and like that kind of thing. It's just swears with Barrett. Yeah, I was gonna say, the fact that, given that Cloud canonically has, let's see, PTSD, actual brain damage, and a number of other things going on with him, the fact that he is capable of speaking, let alone fighting, is incredible. The older I get, the more upset I am by what happened to Cloud. And Zack, for that matter. They were just babies. And they lost, like, all of their formative years in a Mako tank. It's fucked. Okay. Well, I clearly missed a bunch of shit. So let's figure out what I missed. Yeah, it's sad. But, you know, he got at least Cloud at least got part of himself back in the end. Zack is one of the folks that absolutely deserved better. Like, the fact that he remained as kind and good-natured as he was is pretty surprising. Zack is an actual puppy. He's such a good bean. And then shit hit the fan. My poor son. Like, there were cases where Zack absolutely had the right to go off on people, and he never did. Or he very rarely did. He was freakishly good-natured. And that was the only reason he didn't snap and murder a bunch of people earlier. Oh, nice. Ice cream, lemon chocolate cake, lemon cake, cheesecake, scone, pancake, muffin, donut. Steak, hamburger, potato sandwich. Daily plate, daily salad. This is cute. Nice little menu. Back bar cabinet lights. Okay, so that's gotta be you guys. There we are. And kitchen vent. You? No, that's stove hood. Alright. Oh no, absolutely. So, I'm assuming that whatever is on these is not chalk. Okay, kitchen vent. Where the fuck? Oh, okay. There we are. Well, there's Seventh Heaven, guys. I love that this shows you, like, what you do and in what order and stuff. Hey, Tifa told me I have to make sure you did your job. Not bad. Done a lot of cleaning as a merc. You're the real deal. I see you washed my sword, too. Alright, we done with small talk? Got more important things to do. Bye. Thanks, Cloud! Oh, my stupid little son. I love him so much. Oh, I should read Tifa's stuff. And this is what she sends you before the job. Hey, if you're available, I have a job for you in the Sector 7 Undercity. It's so upsetting to see the bar looking like this. I know it's not the fanciest, but it's like home to us and our regulars. A place for people to get homemade food and escape the daily grind. I would have loved to punch those goons right in their dumb faces. Probably wouldn't have even needed any materia. Speaking of which, you do know about materia and Mako, right? Mako's the lifeblood of our planet, and every living thing and every living thing on it. The ancients thankfully learned how to crystallize it, and that's what we call materia. Listen, I don't know what you've heard, but Shinra, it's not as kind and selfless as it paints itself. The Mako energy they produce, it's made by draining the planet's lifeblood. Plus, the whole reason they provide it is to control the populace. If we allow them to keep harvesting it, we're assuring the planet's destruction. Someone has to do something about this, and Avalanche has decided that someone is us. That machine gun on the table belongs to a friend of mine, Barrett. He's as big as hot-headed as a behemoth, but he's got a heart of gold. He also cares about our planet more than anyone else I know. That Buster Sword belongs to my childhood friend, Cloud. He left to join Soldier when we were kids. Now he's out and helping us take on the company. He might not show it, but if you clean his Buster Sword too, I'm sure it'd make his day. I can't believe how amazing the place looks, and you're not even finished. I need to help with final preparations for that job in Sector 1, so I've got to run. But I'll have Cloud come by to give the place a once-over once you're done. Cease! We got a singular text from Cloud. Plus, like, fucking Heidegger. Oh, wait. Okay, that was it. Look at Heidegger texts us a bunch when we're doing his levels. But, he can go fuck himself. I'm not cleaning the Scorpion or the Airbuster. They're a pain in the ass. I did them once to complete story mode, and I'm not doing them again anytime soon. They're a pain in the dick. Besides, like, literally I clean them, and then it's canon that they get destroyed by Cloud, so it's like, come on. I do think this is it for me for the night, though. Simply because, I'm getting tired. I do have to maintain my sleep schedule. Since my current schedule is 9 to 5, at least for the next couple weeks. Might change after that. Monday to Friday, I mean. But I really appreciate y'all popping by. We got through, I wasn't sure that we'd be able to get through all of those so quickly, so I'm glad we did. But yeah, thank you guys for popping by. I'm gonna try to stream at least once next week. Possibly twice? I'm not sure. We'll see how much energy I have. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good night. Take care and stay safe. Make sure to get some food if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you next time. Take care of yourselves and each other. Good night for now.